Good afternoon. So I'm going to be with you guys briefly. I'm following up, and the subject for today is how is the temporary new norm impacting you? And I'm saying temporary because I'm believing it's only going to be for a couple of weeks. And hopefully by April 7th, we will have an update and it will be in our favor. And so I kind of want to talk about like what we're going through, what we're feeling, why we're feeling it, so that we can better understand and process it. And so in my last couple of videos, I've talked about the word grief. And a lot of you may assume that grief is when someone physically died. And that's not all the way true. Grief is our response, our reaction, our process to handling the loss, whether it be physical, the disconnect, the separation of any type of relationship or anything that we're not prepared for. And a lot of times with grief is the missing, the sorrow, and us feeling some type of way. Especially when you think about the loss of something, oftentimes we don't have a choice. It's something that has happened. So whether it's a friendship or the loss of a loved one. And anytime we feel like we don't have a choice, it makes embracing it and accepting it that much more difficult. And so in this time, as we adjust to our temporary new norm, I want you to sit with it and what's going on. And one of the words that is used in the stages of grief is anger. And what I like for us to do, and I do all the time, and I've learned how to do, is begin to define words in my own definition. A lot of times people ask you something and you assume because your definition doesn't agree with their definition that you're not actually feeling some type of way. And oftentimes we use words and we don't fully understand what they mean, or we don't go deeper to make sure we're using the correct word. And so a lot of people may assume that when we're angry, that we're upset, we're enraged, we're yelling, we're screaming. And that's not true. And so I, and however you're feeling, right? So you may say, I'm not angry, I'm mad, I'm upset, I'm disappointed. Like whatever word you're using, I just want you to write out what that word means to you, right? Without looking in the dictionary. And you can look in the dictionary if you want. But I still want you to step away and in your own words, write out like what you're feeling and what it means to you. And so when I dealt with this stage of anger after losing my husband, I was angry with my husband. And you may say, well, how can you be angry with someone who is not alive? And the reason why is I was angry because I felt like some of the things that I was going through was a result of him not being here. And I felt like if he was here, I wouldn't have to deal with what was going on. And so as I began to deal with stuff that I thought I wasn't prepared for, I thought I wasn't um, equipped for, I became angry with him. And a part of me felt like if he was still alive, I wouldn't have to deal with it. And some part of that was true. I felt like people were saying things that they wouldn't have said if he was alive. I felt like people were treating me a certain way and they wouldn't have did it if he was alive. I felt like people were testing me. Um, I felt like people were attacking me. And so whether it was true or not, it was my feelings. It was the way I felt. It was my story. And as a result of that, I became angry, not only at the people that were doing certain things to me, but I also became angry at my husband, um, as if he had a choice, as if it was his decision. And so I just want to talk about that for a moment, that whatever feelings that you're feeling, I want you to go deeper with it. So if you're upset, who are you upset at and why are you upset? Right? You have every right to feel however you are. This isn't to make you feel wrong. This isn't to make you feel bad about how you feel. It's about going deeper. It's about tapping into your truth. It's about being honest. Because a lot of times we feel like we can't be honest. We feel like we have to say what other people want to hear and that we can't say what we're honestly feeling. And so even when people say, How are you feeling? We will give them the response that we believe that they want to hear. So we'll say, I'm doing okay. But the truth is, we're not doing okay. Our tone of voice says it, our body language says it, our voice says it, our facial expression says it, but still we say it. And so, in this time, when you're in the house or you have limited access to going outside and to doing the things that we would normally do, like going to the gym, going to the grocery store, and being able to, at our leisure, pick up what we want, going to the gas station, running errands, shopping, the barber shop, the beauty salon, like whatever it is that was your norm that you feel like I'm not able to do, in this time when you're at home and you're able to spend it with family, look at the things that you put on the back burner because you hadn't had the time to do it. Right. So that's the cleaning up, the decluttering, spending quality time with the families, going through your emails, working on projects, like really getting clear about what your goals are. And so, as you do this, this is a perfect opportunity for you to slow down and really listen to your body and what your body is saying. So, you may need to catch up on additional sleep. You may need to drink more water. You may need to just kind of slow down and take some things off your to do list and kind of just regroup and get your focus back together. One of the things that you may even want to do is begin to journal and write. And the reason why I say that is a lot of times we suppress our feelings, our emotions, and our words because it doesn't feel safe. We don't want to offend anyone. We don't want to cause a conflict or argument or disagreement. We don't want to just have this debate going back and forth. We don't want to open up this can of worms that we can't close. And so, a lot of times, for the sake of others, we just suppress it. The problem with suppressing is you can only push it down so far, and then once it's to the limit and there's nowhere else to push it, you have to deal with the things that you were suppressing. And so if it's been a conversation that you haven't had with your parents or your child or your significant other or your boss or your employee, right? Or another family member, whoever it is that you need to have this conversation with, I want to really highly recommend that you have the conversation. But before you have the conversation, find your truth, find your intentions, right? Oftentimes it's not what we say, it's how we say it. And so, in this time where we're taking care of ourselves, and everyone thinks taking care of yourself is, making sure you eat right, making sure you drink plenty of water, making sure you take your vitamins, making sure you exercise, making sure you get plenty of sleep. But mentally and emotionally, with the feelings that we have, we need to deal with, right? We need to find our truth, we need to speak our truth, and we need to deal with it. And so, in the journaling, just begin to write what you're feeling. It's a place that's safe where no one's going to judge you, make you right or wrong. It's a time to express yourself, to be totally honest. It's a time to just go deeper and find out what is it that I would really like to do with the extra time that I have. And what have I been doing that I really didn't care to do? But I did it because it was expected of me. This is a time to take care of you in every area of your life. And most importantly, begin to really listen to the words you're saying and then to look at what is your definition of the word. How does it show up when I'm angry? How does it show up when I'm mad? Like, what do I do? What do I say? And even though you think it may not be out of control, ask the people that are close to you that may be impacted by it, like your spouse or your children. Even look at the food that you eat and the way that you sleep at night when you're angry, mad, or upset. But most importantly, get clear on your definition of what it is, how it appears in your life, when it appears, and how you respond. And so, in this time where we're dealing with being in the house and our new norms, I just want to encourage you to go deeper with your feelings, your emotions, find your truth, communicate your truth, take care of yourself, and listen to what your body is saying. And don't be afraid to give it what it needs. So, again, if it's more sleep, get more sleep. If it's just me time alone, get me time alone. If it's I need time to read, read. And anything that you've been finding a challenge, this is a time to Google it, to read a book, to find additional resources to build up those skills, the skill set. Be mindful of who you're talking to and what you're talking about. Because the energy that comes with communicating, it can be detrimental. especially if you're isolated and you're talking to someone was calling and it interrupted us. But what I was saying is, in this time where we're finding our new norm, try to do it from a place of embracing and accepting it as if you have a choice. Instead of focusing on what has been temporary, taken away from you, or limited, look at what is giving you access to. Look at what is giving you permission to do. Look at all the things that you're able to enjoy as a result of not being able to go outside. Look at the creativity that has actually kicked in. And the reason why I want you to do that is anytime we feel like we don't have a choice, we shut down. We become resentful, there's resistance, there's a fights going on. And whenever we're in that state of mind, we can't look at the bigger picture. It's like having, if you guys take photos or even on your phone, you know that as you zoom in, you can see something very clear. But the more you zoom in, the bigger it gets. And the bigger it gets, what happens is you can't see all the stuff in the background and around it because you're so focused on one thing. Anytime we begin to focus on what we don't have, we continue to look at things that we don't have. Versus when we look at the gift, the opportunity that has presented itself to us, we now begin to see things that we wouldn't normally see, right? So, though you may have to remotely work from home, you don't have to deal with traffic. Though your kids is home and you may have to homeschool, you're able to interact with them. You're able to spend quality time with them. And so, like, whatever it is that you're able to do now, I want you to begin to look at it and to celebrate and to focus on what you have versus what you don't have. And even beginning to write out what you're grateful for, what you enjoy. Like, it makes all the difference. If you have any kids, nieces, nephews, you know that you can buy something. And when they do, like, oh, like, you're supposed to buy this, like, you're my mother, you're my father, it's your job, it's your responsibility. There's a part of you that want to rise up and be like, you ungrateful child. But when they say thank you or I'm so excited and they appreciate it and they go beyond the call of duty, maybe they clean up their room or they do some extra errands or just they hug you, they kiss you, it makes you feel some type of way. Like, it makes you enjoy it, right? It makes you want to do more. And so when you're grateful for what you have and you focus on it, it allows you to see like how well off you are. It allows you to take notice of things that you probably have not noticed in your life. Like, I walk, and one of the things I like about walking is I like the fact that, not that I'm just walking, right? Because I've walked in the mall. I did, I've walked to get from point A to point B. I'm talking about walking and being fully present. I'm talking about walking and not being on a time schedule. I'm talking about walking and not being in a hurry. I'm talking about walking and I'm noticing the person that's walking past me. And though I've never seen them before, I still say good morning, good afternoon. I'm talking about walking and noticing the surrounding. I'm talking about walking and noticing the birds or the kids playing or the laughter or the fresh air or the trees or the green grass, things that I wouldn't normally notice because I'm in a hurry. When you slow down, even in your home, and begin to take notice of the little things, like the little things, like being able to go into a bathroom in your house and lock the door, being able to take a hot shower, being able to go downstairs and get some ice water or to get something out the refrigerator, to be able to turn on a TV, to be able to plug up a computer or a laptop, to be able to go onto the internet, to be able to see your kids, to be able to feed your kids and to interact with your kids. Like, whatever you're able to do, when you begin to appreciate it and the gift that it's giving you, it changes your whole perspective. And so, with the whole world kind of adapting and adjusting to what's going on, let's find something to be grateful for. Let's take this time to send someone a thank you note or to text them and say, I love you, to encourage somebody. Let's take this time to cook a home cooked meal that we haven't had time to do. Let's take this time to clean up, to organize. Let's take this time to just binge watch on TV. Let's take this time to clean out a closet. Let's take this time to enjoy the house that we pay for, that we don't have a lot of time to spend in it. Let's just be grateful for something. And so as you become more grateful, it will shift your perspective of everything that's going on, not only out here, but inside of here. And once it changes in here, it changes how you see things, it changes how you think. And so we can't change the limitation they put on us, but we can change our perception about it. We can change how we look at it. We can identify what we're grateful for. We can give ourselves permission to take care of ourselves, to love ourselves, to listen to our bodies, and to spend quality time with us, getting to know who we are outside of the titles, outside of the positions. Like, who are you? What do you enjoy doing? And just laugh, read a book, do something that you wouldn't normally do because you don't have time. But whatever you do, give yourself permission to do it. Pay attention to the words you're saying. Get clear on the definitions and the meaning that they have to you, how you show up. Be honest about how you feel. And even though you're grateful, get to the root of how you feel and what it'll do to change that. And what is really causing you to be sad or upset or frustrated, right? And a lot of times it's because we feel like something has been taken away from us. And to a certain extent, that is true. But at the same time, we've been given the gift to slow down, permission to be fully present, our creativity to kick in, to take care of our families and our friends, and to realize how grateful we are and how much we have. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.